Lifestyle Live. Come and see, you'll agree. There's a positive energy. Lifestyle Live.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Lifestyle Live Podcast.
Faces you know and a team you can trust. Stories that form your heart. Lifestyle Live. Lifestyle Live.
She is a teen on a mission to empower other children and teens who have been diagnosed with epilepsy. On this Lifestyle Live podcast episode, we meet Bella Bauer, who was diagnosed with the condition in 5th grade. Ever since, she has been pushing limits and advocating for greater awareness and education about epilepsy, all in hopes of highlighting epilepsy warriors. This is the Lifestyle Live podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Lifestyle Live. Lifestyle Live.
Well, she was diagnosed with epilepsy when she was in the 5th grade, and now she's using her platform as Miss Southern Heartland Teen to raise awareness for this disorder. Bella Bauer is with us this morning on Lifestyle Live. Bella, tell us about your journey with epilepsy and how raising awareness has really become a passion for you.
Yeah, so I remember my story like it was yesterday. It was in 5th grade. I was getting ready to take a math test, and all of a sudden I had a grand mal seizure. I didn't know what epilepsy was or even what a seizure was. I had been previously diagnosed with it, and I just remember during that time I felt very alone and it was a very embarrassing time too, as it was in front of my entire class. I felt like I was treated differently, and that's where I really started to gain a passion for epilepsy. And I said, you know what, I want to be a voice for those who might have epilepsy and experience the same thing I did, to know that they can overcome anything and empower them to know that they're not alone. And so I created the Purple Project, and I have a website, and I unite fellow epilepsy warriors and share their own stories. And so it's a community of epilepsy warriors, and I think that's so amazing. And I just really want to be a voice for those people struggling with epilepsy.
I love that, and thank you for doing this. Talk a little bit about your platform. Obviously, you are part of the Miss America organization, and you'll be having another pageant here coming up. Talk about that in your journey and how you hope this can help you continue spreading this message.
So I compete in the Miss America organization, and it has been a dream. I absolutely love it. There's such a sisterhood, and I remember I had my first local title last year, and I went to Miss Indiana Week, and I just had so much fun. I met so many friends. It gave me such a voice to share my platform with the world, and I think that's so important to spread epilepsy awareness, because seizure first aid, it's not implemented in all schools, and I really want to make that a goal. I've so far met with State Senator Mike Braun's Regional Director Mary Martin, and then also Congressman Rudy Yakum, to talk about seizure first aid in schools, because so far in Indiana, there's only 21 states so far that have enacted any sort of seizure law first aid. So, and I really want to make that known in all of Indiana. Only schools with a known student must be educated, and I want to make that every single school, because if you're like me and your story started where you had your first seizure in school, it's different for everyone. So, and I really want to, I've met many people with that same story, and I want to make that a big goal in all schools in Indiana.
Well, you've got a book, correct?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about this book. I can't believe at 17 you're already publishing a book. My goodness.
So yes, this book has been in the works for about a year. It started off with last summer, my grandpa and I, we sat there making our own little illustrations for it, and it started off very simple, and we've taken it over to Canva, and so I'm supposed to be receiving my first copy within the next few weeks, and I really want to spread that to as many offices as I can that focus on neurology, and so that kids can read that book. And I think what better way to empower kids than a book, and they can easily read about my story, and it's very positive about showing them that they can overcome anything they put their mind to, but also sharing a little bit about epilepsy and what it is if they're uneducated on the disorder. And so I just thought, you know what better way than a book.
I love that. And so your goal is to put it in all of the offices, but is it also for sale for the public too?
So far it's just for offices, but if for sale, like I would love to take that and take it into like spreading money for epilepsy causes as well. Yes. I think that'd be a great opportunity. But so far we're starting where we are, and that would be a goal though, and a dream for sure.
Obviously one of your goals is to continue on with the Miss America organization. Are there any other goals that you have for this platform? Do you see yourself doing this for the rest of your life?
For sure. It's so specific to my own own story, and I would love to take that as far as I can. And it would be an absolute dream if I could get seizure first aid in every single school.
You're going to do it. We're putting it into the universe. I love it.
So yes, that'd be a big goal, but definitely one I'm working on. So
very impressive. Thank you for all you're doing. I love your story. You're so impressive. My goodness. Can you believe this?
Lifestyle Live. Lifestyle Live.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Lifestyle Live Podcast. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And connect for even more on Facebook and at lifestylelive.tv.
Faces you know and a team you can trust. Stories that form your heart.